Hello everyone, welcome back to another TV episode review. Today we'll be taking a look at Teen Titans from 2003. Yeah, it's been a while since this was released. And this is the original series. And this is Season 1, Episode 1. Although technically I should say this is technically not the pilot for Teen Titans. It's really, I guess, Season 1, Episode 3, which is Divide and Conquer. That was the first episode to be broadcast on TV on Cartoon Network back in 2002, 2003. But this is chronologically, really technically the first episode. So anyway, just a little bit of a confusion, but yeah, this is the first episode. Um, and this is called Final Exam. And so this is one of the probably one of the better ones, especially in season one. Um, it was a great rewatch. It's always enjoyable. The first of all, this establishes the Teen Titans as already being together, whereas in a later episode, the one called Go, I believe it's in season 4, and that whole episode is basically the backstory of how they became the Titans as a team. But this episode is just the first one. It shows them being already together. And so, yeah, it opens with a really cool introduction with Slade. So he's the main villain, and so he's trying to destroy the Teen Titans. And so he needs a new plan. So we see him in his lair, and he's basically hiring this team of young super students who have powers, and we're called the HIVE. And so we've got Mammoth, who is a giant. Then we have Jinx, who is a sorceress. And we have Gizmo, who is a super smart, like, tech savvy young kid. And so he leads the group. They'll later become the Hive 5, but for now, they're just the 3 of them. And so they're basically getting hired by Slade. And so the headmistress of the Hive Academy, which is where they're from, she is talking to Slade and trying to convince him to hire them. And so he's kind of shown this training video montage thing of them fighting various, machines and things and demonstrating their abilities. And so Slade gives them one final exam to destroy the Teen Titans. And that is their mission. And so once they do that, then they'll talk. And so that's the opening. And then we get introduced, well, not really introduced, well, we see the Teen Titans. They're introduced in the episode. And, yeah, they're just sitting around Titan's Tower, which is their main base, which is a T, and it's pretty sweet. We open with Cyborg and Beast Boy arguing over where the TV remote is, and so that's going on, and then Raven's trying to read, she's becoming annoyed with them, and they get in a fight, and then Robin and Starfire come in, just talking, chilling, and then everyone is just fighting, they're all trying to calm each other down, and they're all looking for the remote, and Starfire's looking for something to eat, and turns out all their food is just so expired and blue and full of mold, and one of the food items like comes and attacks Starfire, and she screams and blasts it all over the team, all over the tower, and so Robin decides that they should probably go out for pizza to eat. So they go out to Jump City, that's the city that they live in, and Titan's Tower is like in an island next to the city, so it's like on the body of water. I believe it's a river that surrounds Jump City. That's where they live. They live a little bit separate from the city, and so they go to the pizza joint, the local pizza place. And one of the funniest parts is Starfire. She's like, Beast Boy wants a vegan pizza, and Cyborg wants meat, and Robin's okay with pepperoni, and for some reason, Starfire wants to eat a pizza with, I took notes on this, a large pizza with pickles, bananas, and mint frosting, which sounds really disgusting, but she's not really from Earth, so we'll let it slide. And yeah, Starfire is my favorite member of the Titans. She's just so genuine. Anyway, that is really ridiculous. Robin's like, not everything on the menu's a pizza topping. And yeah, they're talking, and then suddenly the Hive show up, the 3 that were introduced earlier before the theme song, And might I just say, the theme song is absolutely amazing. And there's even a Japanese version, which is pretty nice. And um, yeah, that's a great thing. And so the Hive show up, and they all have this attack pattern delta that they attack the Titans right in the middle of the street. And so they have this massive fight, and the Titans just get totally just beaten senseless. And Robin ends up getting separated from the group. And so they go back to the tower after their massive fight. There's like buses being thrown. It's nuts. It's pretty chaotic. And the Hive actually end up winning, beating the team. And so the Titans go back to the tower, and they end up healing each other, and they're looking for Robin. They're wondering, Starfire's like, where's Robin? And it turns out he's missing, so they don't know where he is. And so at that point, that's totally the worst thing for the team, because Robin's he's like the glue that holds them together. Without him, they kind of start to get a little antsy. And yeah, and so they have to now defend Titan's Tower from the Hive again. They show up for the second time for a rematch. And so they end up battling throughout the tower, destroying the whole thing. Not the whole thing, but most of the inside. And so, yeah, that's not looking good. And eventually, Cyborg gets pummeled out of the tower through the entrance, or through the top of it. He gets launched from the tower into the sea, and they all get booted out of their tower. And then the Hive end up taking over the Titan's tower. So now it's become an H. And so they're kind of just looking through their stuff. Gizmo looks through Beast Boy's CD collection, and then Jinx tries on Raven's cloak, and then Mammoth starts eating their outdated food. And so they are just totally trashing the tower. And so the Titans start arguing outside on the island, on like a little island outside of the tower. And so they are just all riled up. Raven tries to get them all together. Starfire's still worried about Robin. Cyborg is totally angry because his arm is gone. And so at this point, Robin actually returns. And so now they have the team back together. They got a plan. And so Cyborg has this plan to activate his arm from inside the tower. And so he distracts the Hive long enough for them to get the jump on them. And so they ambush the Hive. And so they have this massive fight for the third time. It's probably the most epic fight of the episode, is the third showdown. This is near the end. And they all get, the Hive just get totally owned, just beaten as badly as the Titans were when they first fought. And so they're all, defeated, and Gizmo accidentally lets it known that Slade hired them. And then this gets Robin's attention. He's very interested. And so they're like, who's Slade? What is this? Who is that? And so it turns out that Slade was only hiring the Hive to kind of test the team. And so it was just a test, that he never expected them to win. He just wanted them to know his name. And so that is the end of the episode. That is great. It sets up Robin's conflict with Slade incredibly well, because Robin's going to be obsessed with Slade throughout the entirety of the first season. So it sets up that, and it also sets up the team dynamic. All the different team members, Beast Boy and Cyborg, are obviously the best friends, the kind of dim-witted duo, and Starfire is the naive, innocent, character. And then you have Raven, who's like kind of the mediator. She's like the calm one. And then you've got Robin, obviously, who's the leader. He's the most like mature of them, so he leads them, and he kind of keeps them together. So I think this is a wonderful first episode. It's really great. Like, all the action is really fun. The whole pizza scene is probably the best part. The Hive comes back later on, so we get more of them later. But this is just the first appearance of them. And of course you got Slade, who appears at the beginning and at the end to kind of wrap things up. So I think that's really, really great to see him just at the beginning and the end. We get a lot more of him later, but it's great to see his first appearance, and this is just a really great first episode. I don't really have any problems with it. I think it's a perfect start, despite the fact that Divide and Conquer is really supposed to be the first episode, although it's not just like chronologically, but it was the first to be shown. So, yeah, we'll get to that one when we get to that. Final Exam, I think it is a perfect pilot. It's got so many great things going for it. Introduces you to everything, and it's nice and quick and really memorable. So I give Final Exam a 10. I have no problems with it. Let me know if you've seen this episode, and thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next episode review. Thanks so much. Take care. Have a great day.